welcome to yoga class. Today's class flow is intuitive yoga for the back, neck, and hips. Now today we are targeting these areas because many of us have been in quarantine at one time or another. Maybe we've had an extended quarantine working from home. As you can see, this has been the case for me. So when that happens, we spend a lot of time in a seated position, or also we might spend a lot of time not moving our body enough, and we might start to feel it in lots of different parts of the body, but commonly in the hips, the back, and the neck. So today's going to be all about targeting those areas and just moving and shifting some of that energy around so that we can release some stress and tension and just feel better in our bodies. So we will start in a seated position. I'm going to demonstrate this by sitting on 2 blocks. You can have your legs in front of you if you'd like. This way, if this is comfortable for your practice, you could sit on a block from here, or if you prefer, you can sit on a block by having the block underneath your seat, your legs out to the side. So I'm going to recommend this if you've got any discomfort at your knees. This option is really going to open up the angle at the knees so it'll be comfortable, more comfortable. And I find that by sitting in this supported kneeling position, you can really get a straight spine. And that's what we want. We don't want to round at the spine. We want the shoulders above the hips, press the head back to get the ears above the shoulders. Now, from this supported seat, whether you're using props or not, go ahead and close your eyes. Bring your gaze inward. And as you bring your gaze inward, start to notice your breath. Simply noticing how you breathe naturally in this moment without force or control. And then start to lengthen the breath. Taking a deep inhalation all the way to the top of the breath. Exhaling for a slow, slow release. Continuing each round of breath. Practicing our full lung capacity breathing. Inhale all the way to the top of the breath, all the way until you can't take in any more air. And as you exhale, let the air release slowly. Now, with your attention to your breath, know that in this time we're transitioning from our day to our practice. Allowing ourselves time to connect with our breath. Most of our day, we don't even think about our breath. It just happens naturally. But now, by giving it attention and giving it length, we can downregulate, calming our nervous system. Sending ourselves into a more appropriate state to practice today. And in this time, we'll start to invite movement into the practice, starting right away with the neck. Gently start to flutter the eyes open. And as you exhale, lower your chin towards your chest. Feel a stretch. Hold here. Now you've got the option to stay like this, or if you'd like, you can bring your right ear above your right shoulder on an inhale breath, feeling into the left side of the neck. And then exhale, chin to chest, take it over to the left. Now feeling into the right side. Inhaling to the right. Exhale to the left. Deciding if you want to move the head from side to side, or if you'd prefer to keep your chin at your chest, this is up to you. But just giving yourself some intuitive movement to feel into the neck space. Noticing which area or which side feels tighter, and offering your neck that pause of a deeper stretch. Starting to find your way back to center. Once your chin meets your chest, as you inhale, lift your chin, gaze forward. Take your hands outside of your hips. Now on your next inhale, reach your shoulders up to your ears. Exhale, take the shoulders back and down. Continue to move in this way. Movement following your breath. Sometimes those shoulders creep up to our ears. Sometimes we hold that without knowing it. So by moving in this way, we're letting that tension go. We're letting our shoulders know, hey, it's okay to relax. You don't need to tense. Just chill. Let's take a couple more. And then relax the shoulders down. Maybe give a little shimmy. Now from here, we are going to come off the blocks if you're on them. So go ahead and just lift your seat. And as you lift your seat, take the blocks off the mat out to the side. We'll come back to them later if we need to. For now, open the knees the width of the mat. Bring your big toes together. We're going to come into a child's pose. With our knees wide, we can gently start to get into the hips. Now, as you lean forward, if your hips come up, you can position a prop underneath. If not, then don't worry about that. Walk the hands forward. Think about reaching your fingers towards the top of the mat. And then as you exhale, lower your forehead to the mat. Hold and breathe. Feel a gentle stretch at the inner thighs and the hips. Maybe you reach your fingers forward, finding activation in the arms, or maybe you just let the arms relax. You might rock your forehead from side to side, pressing into the third eye, the space of intuition and wisdom, a space that regulates thoughts and dreams. Now bringing your forehead to center. On your next inhalation, gently lift your head. And as you exhale, walk your hands towards your body. And then from here, we'll lift the hips. So we're coming into our tabletop. Now we want to bring the knees under the hips, uncurl the toes. And as you set up for your tabletop, position the wrist under the shoulders, spread the fingers wide. Moving through a few cat-cows. Inhale, lift the belly lower towards the mat. Exhale, lift the back, round the spine. Inhale, belly softens, tailbone lifts. Exhale, lift the back, tailbone lowers. As we continue to move in this way with our movement following our breath, we can just let the head relax, let the neck relax. Let the head go where it naturally wants to without thought or force. And this time we'll allow some mobility for our spine. Also gently feeling into the hips. Take one more full round. And then find a neutral tabletop position. Now from here, we are going to come into a bit of a twist and then threading the needle. So just moving any props that might be in the way. From our neutral tabletop, we'll lift the right hand, reach the right fingers up, twisting to the right, little spinal twist, and now we'll thread the needle, taking the right arm between the left arm and the left knee. Now lower onto your right shoulder, right side of the head. Lean over to the right if you need to. Feel a nice stretch at the shoulder, stretching the right side of the back. Now on your next inhale, press your left palm to the mat. Use your energy to reach the right fingers back up, twisting to the right. Exhale, take the right hand down. Pause for a full round of breath here. On your next inhale, reach the left fingers straight up, twisting to the left. And as you exhale, thread the needle, taking the left arm between the right arm, right knee, bend the right elbow, come onto the left shoulder, left side of the head. Holding for a couple more rounds of breath. Feeling into the left shoulder, left side of the back. Your next inhale, press your right palm to the mat. Reach the left fingers up, twisting to the left again. And then exhale, take the left palm down to the mat. Take a full round of breath here. Inhale through your nostrils. Exhale, open your mouth, release. Now looking at your hands, walk your hands one hand placement forward. Keep the fingers spread wide. From here, we're going to curl our toes and transition to downward facing dog. Lifting the hips, sending them back. Positioning the ears between the biceps. Now, know that if you feel discomfort at your hamstrings, you can bend your knees. Think about sending your chest to your legs, taking pressure out of the shoulders. Gazes down to the mat. Maybe you gently bend one knee at a time. As one knee bends, opposite leg straightens. Deeper stretch going up the leg into the hip. Let's take that one more time. Warming up the body. Now finding stillness. If the legs are really tight, maybe you bend both knees on the inhale. And then straighten the legs on the exhale. Good. Now next inhalation, shift forward, plank position. From here, gently lower the knees down to the mat. Uncurl the toes. Bend the elbows, come onto your belly. Feel the tops of the feet on the mat. Now from here, you want your hands underneath your shoulders. As you exhale, lower your forehead to the mat. Inhale, lift the head, gaze forward. Maybe lift the chest. And then exhale, lower down. Slide the hands back more towards the ribs. Next, inhale, lift the head, lift the chest. Press the tops of the feet to the mat. Exhale, lower down. On the next inhale, lift the head, lift the chest. From here, maybe you extend the arms, lift the body. So just the palms and the tops of the feet are on the mat, upward facing dog. And then exhale, gently lower down, all the way down. Take a full round of breath here. Bring the hands back underneath the shoulders. Lift your head, look at the space where your hands are. Now take your hands out wider, coming off the mat, still shoulder distance. From here, you can stay on your palms or you can come onto fingertips. We'll lift the chest, gaze forward. Take an inhale breath. As you exhale, right shoulder dips towards the mat, back to spinal twisting. Inhale, lift to center. Exhale, left shoulder dips. Each time you inhale, find center. And each time you exhale, shoulder dips. When you come up to center, peel the belly off the mat, stretching the abs. And let's take one more on each side. Lower down. Bring your hands back underneath your shoulders. Use your energy to push the mat away. Straighten the arms. Lift the hips. Let's come back into child's pose, getting a nice counter stretch. Spinal flexion after the extension, the back bending. Notice how the hips and the low back feel in this shape. Know that child's pose is a great shape to calm the nervous system. to reduce anxiety and to help you sleep better at nighttime. Let's enjoy a couple more rounds of breath here. Starting to come out, lifting the hips, shifting back towards tabletop position. First, curl the toes, bring the knees under the hips. Walk the hands forward. Now, as we did before in our down dog, we're going to curl those toes, lift the hips, send them back, and then walk your hands forward. So we're bringing our feet towards the top of the mat. And once the feet get there, on an inhale breath, take your palms to your shins, taking a half lift. And then as you exhale, fold, taking a ragdoll position, letting your arms just dangle. Feet are hip distance. Maybe you spread the toes wide here. Now the arms can stay dangling in ragdoll, or you can take your hands to opposite elbows, framing your head with your arms. Again, if the back of the legs are tight, you can bend the knees. Or maybe you bend and straighten. Inhale, bend. Exhale, straighten. As you stay in your ragdoll, or whichever variation you're taking in your forward fold, notice if you're holding your head up and just relax your neck. Maybe you shake your head from side to side, maybe forward and back, just reminding yourself to just let the head go, relax the neck. Exhale, release the arms from the elbows if you took that option. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Again, inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. One more time. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Now soften the knees, take a micro bend. Pressing feet to the mat, slowly start to rise up, coming into a standing position of mountain pose, Tadasana. As you come into your mountain pose, lift the shoulders up, back, and down. Palms are now facing forward, feet are hip distance. And as we come into the standing position, just take a moment to feel grounded at your feet. Notice how comfortable this feels. You might slowly rock onto the toes and then back onto the heels, just giving yourself time to feel stable in this position of mountain pose, Tadasana. Now from here, on an inhale breath, let's sweep the arms out, reach the fingers in opposite directions. As you exhale, go ahead and cross your right arm over your left. Bend your elbows, lift your fingers up towards the sky. Your hands might meet. Now, really important here with our eagle arms, we're going to focus on keeping the shoulders low and just lifting the elbows. As we lift the elbows, we hold and breathe. Feeling a really nice stretch, the upper back, shoulder area. And as we exhale, we will lower the elbows, untangle the arms, reach the arms out, and then we'll take that on the other side. So now the left arm comes across, elbows bend, maybe the hands meet. Keep the shoulders low, just focus on lifting the elbows. Hold the lift and breathe. On the next exhale, we will release the arms. Reach the arms out, take the arms down. Now, those were our eagle arms. We're going to practice eagle legs. We can do arms and legs at the same time, but let's start off with the legs here. So go ahead and ground down with one foot. The opposite leg is going to cross over as if you're sitting in a chair. As you cross over, you might feel more comfortable letting your toes tap down, or you might be able to hook your toes to the back of your standing leg. Now, if you come out, no worries, toes can come back down. If you're making the hook and you notice that your hips are really swiveling and you're having a hard time bringing them forward, remember, you can use the toe tap down. So I'm going to demonstrate here. Now, if you want to, you can come back to eagle arms if you'd like, or if that's throwing off your balance, maybe you stay focusing on the legs, sitting back as much as you want or need to. And if this is a struggle to stay in your balance, you might bring your hands to a wall space. So wherever you are, just hold and breathe. Now press your foundational foot so that you can straighten your leg, lift your knee, take that foot down, and let's set it up on the other side. Now lifting opposite knee, crossing it over. Remember, toes can tap down, or maybe you wrap the toes around the ankle. So now I'll demonstrate this way. Now remember, the arms just might chill so you can focus on what's going on in your low body, or you might come into your eagle arms as well. Okay, remember, if you need support, hands can come to a wall space. Maybe you sit a little deeper. Breathe. Now press your foot to the mat, lift your top leg, unwind. Both feet come onto the mat, offer yourself a full round of breath here. Now walk your feet to the top of the mat. In our mountain pose, inhale, we'll sweep the arms up. Exhale, hinge at the hips, fold forward. Back into our forward fold, let the arms dangle. From here, let's step the right toes way back. Take the left hand to the inside of the left foot. You can shimmy that left foot wider. Now, keeping the arms straight, we'll gently lower that right knee down, uncurl the toes, coming into our lizard pose. Simply noticing how this feels for your hips. With our eagle pose, we just took internal rotation for the hips. We can get external rotation now by opening that left knee away from the shoulder. If we want to go deeper, we might bring the forearms down to the mat, positioning the elbows in line with the arch of the left foot. We might curl those back toes and come off the knee. Find what you need. If you're coming off the back knee, press the heel back. If the knee is lifted, go ahead and lower it down. Uncurl the toes. Press palms to the mat, straighten the arms. Now with your hands to the center of the mat, curl those back toes. Use your energy to step your right foot outside of your right hand. Lift your hips, straighten your legs, relax the neck again. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold and dangle. Bring your palms between your feet, pressing palms to the mat. Shift weight into the right foot, step those left toes way back, coming into our lizard on this side. Gently lower that left knee down, uncurl the toes. So for external rotation, remember you can open that right knee out away from the shoulder. You might come onto your forearms. You might curl those back toes, lifting the knee, pressing the heel back. Whichever variation you choose, just give yourself time to breathe and feel into the body. Now, if the knee is lifted, go ahead and lower it down. If you're on your forearms, press palms to the mat. From here, using your energy to step that left foot outside of your left hand. Inhale, lift those hips. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lift the hips. Exhale, fold. Now from here, step the right toes way back. Step the left toes way back. Back to our plank position. From here, pull the belly button up towards the spine, engaging the core. Then lift the hips coming into your down dog. From your downward facing dog. Inhale, lift your right leg, three-legged dog. Exhale, bend your knee. Maybe you stay here, or if you want to go further, you can lift that right hand off the mat so that you can drop your right foot over to the left. Open up for wild thing. Take the right hand back to the mat. Inhale, lift the right leg. We'll all meet here. Exhale, right foot meets the mat. Back to our down dog. Take a breath here. Now inhale, lift and lengthen that left leg, three-legged dog. Bend the left knee. Maybe you stay here. Or maybe you lift the left hand, drop the foot over to the right. Wild thing on this side. Coming back out. We'll all meet at our three-legged dog. And then come into our down dog. Gently shift forward. Lower the knees to the mat. Take your feet out to one side so that you can come onto your seat. Bring your legs forward. As you bring your legs forward, find your blocks. If you have blocks, awesome. If you don't, you can use blankets or pillows to support the thighs. We're coming into Supta Baddha Konasana. So make sure there's enough space to come into a reclined position. If you want to use your props, you're going to position them underneath your thighs. This is really beneficial because oftentimes we're holding our legs up and we're holding tension. If we can position the props underneath, then we don't hold tension. We can let the body just rest. We're using the blocks to bring the floor up to us. If we're holding tension, we can't actually stretch. So if you feel that you're straining in this pose without the props, then that'll be an indication for you to use them. So in our Supta Baddha Konasana, the soles of the feet meet. The knees are out wide. We can use our props or not. And then we'll lower onto our backs. Taking your time to get there. Feeling your back, shoulders, and head connect to the mat. And as you get there, just feeling a neutral spine. Giving yourself a moment to just relax the arms out to the sides. Feeling into the body. Gently opening the hips. Neutral spine for the back. And then tuck the chin towards the chest to lengthen the back of the neck, the cervical spine. Finding safe alignment. With the arms out to the sides, create space at the armpits. Or maybe you bring your hands to your belly. Inhale, feel the belly pressing to the hands. Exhale, feel the belly soften. Taking this time to reconnect with your breath. Slowly starting to come out. Taking the hands outside of the thighs. Lifting the knees up. From here, we'll bring our heels in line with our glutes. Take the blocks out to the side. Give yourself a full round of breath here. Feeling the tailbone grounded. Now that we are going to come into a spinal twist next. So we'll lift the feet off the mat, positioning the knees above the hips, ankles in line with the knees. Now, changing the arm position, we'll send the arms out to the sides. Think about positioning the wrist in line with the shoulders. Gaze is up to the ceiling. Inhale here. And as you exhale, take both knees to the left. Keep that right shoulder down. Now, as you bring the knees to the left, you might take that left hand to just gently rest at the top of the right thigh. So we don't want to push or press. Just offering a hand there, just as a reminder to lower down a little more. If your knees don't meet the ground, you might support the knees with a block or a pillow as an option, maybe even a blanket. In this time, feel into the spine, into the back space. If you want to deepen the spiraling of the spine, you might turn your head to look over to the right. Hold and breathe. In this time, if you'd like to go for a deeper stretch for your leg going up into the hip, you might extend your right leg, straightening it, taking the left hand to hook onto the pinky side of the foot or maybe the ankle. If you don't make a connection, then a strap could be handy here if you've got one. And if that's just too deep for you, then you don't have to do that. You can keep the knee bent. If you're in this option or the first option, just enjoy 2 more rounds of breath. Release the leg or the foot if you grabbed onto it. Bend the top knee. On your next inhalation, use your energy to lift your knees straight up, roll onto your back. Exhale, take the knees over to the right. And as you take your knees to the right, keep that left shoulder down. You might take your right hand to gently rest the palm to the outside of the left thigh. Just a gentle assist. To deepen the spiraling, you might turn your gaze to the left. If that hurts your neck, you can look straight up or to the right. And if you'd like to go deeper for the leg and feel a stretch going up into the hip, then maybe you extend the left leg, taking your hand to connect to the foot or the ankle, or maybe you're using a strap to make the connection. And enjoying a couple rounds of breath here. If you've grabbed onto your foot or your leg, gently release, let the arm go, bend the knee. And as you inhale, we'll lift the knees up, roll onto the back. Just pause here. Maybe you cross the ankles. We're going to keep the feet lifted. Just give yourself a moment to come back into that neutral spine. And maybe cross the ankles the other way. Now uncross the feet. Rebend the knees, but open the knees as wide as you can. As you open the knees as wide as you can, rotate the soles of your feet towards the ceiling. Keep the knees bent. Start off by taking your hands behind your knees. Pull the legs towards you. Keep the tailbone on the mat. If you feel like you want to go deeper, you can take your arms to the inside of the knees, now reaching for your ankles. If the tailbone lifts, take the hands back down to the back of the knees. If you want to go even deeper, take your peace fingers, index and middle finger, to hook onto the big toe. If the tailbone lifts, lessen the reach. You might even take your hands to the pinky edges of your feet. So out of all those options, come back to the one that feels most accessible in your body today. And as you come into your version of happy baby, decide if you want to rock from side to side, giving yourself a nice massage for the back space. Or you can stay still if you prefer. You also have the option to straighten one leg as the opposite knee stays bent. This will provide a deeper stretch for the leg and the foot. And then maybe we try that on the other side. Happy baby is a great way to open the hips. Maybe you take the option of straightening both legs. And then from here, we'll bend the knees if the legs are straight. Release your feet. Bring the arms down, resting the arms. Lower the feet to the mat. Take a full round of breath here. Exhale, let it go. Now straighten the legs. Bring your left heel to the left edge of the mat, right heel to the right edge of the mat. So there's space between the legs, space at the arms. And then from here, we'll gently take the arms overhead. And as you do this, see if your hands can reach for opposite elbows. And if so, just make sure that the shoulders are connected to the mat. If it's uncomfortable for your shoulders, you might widen by taking your hands to your forearms, or you might widen more by taking your hands to your wrist. Once you find the distance that's working for you, settle in, feel those shoulders grounded to the mat. Coming into our banana shape for lateral flexion for the spine, we'll lift that right ankle, cross the right ankle over the left, and just feel into that right side. You might even be feeling this in the right hip. Now lift the arms, take that left elbow towards the feet. Now deepening the stretch on the right side of the body. Still keeping that right shoulder down. Your ankle cross can stay like this, or you might switch it up, bringing the right foot down and then crossing the left ankle on top of the right. Now, by trying both, you'll notice which one provides a deeper stretch for your body. Enjoy a couple rounds of breath here. Then gently lift your arms, just rotate your arms to center first. Uncross the ankles, take the right ankle back over to the right side of the mat. Maybe pause for a round of breath. And then lift that left ankle, cross it over the right. And then slide the arms over towards the feet as if that right elbow is trying to meet the feet. Keep the left shoulder down. Feel into the left side. If this feels like a really great stretch, stay here. If you want to reverse the ankle cross, you can switch it up, bringing the right ankle above the left. holding and breathing. Getting a nice stretch for the side body. And as we slowly transition to come out, we'll just slide the shoulders and the head back to the center of the mat. Uncross the ankles, take the left foot back over to the left edge of the mat. Gently let the arms go. Bring the arms outside of the body, just grounding down, making our relaxation shape, Savasana. Gently move your head from side to side. Gentle movement for the neck. Bring the head to center, tuck the chin towards the chest. In this time, you are welcome to come into Savasana. For today's practice, I would recommend 5 to 7 minutes. However, if you'd like a deeper relaxation for a longer amount of time, you are welcome to do that. Stay here in this posture of relaxation for as long as you'd like. We will close our practice together today here in this shape. Thank you so much for joining me for this intuitive practice of getting into the back, the neck, and the hips. It is my deepest honor to guide you in this beautiful practice. The light in me sees, honors, and recognizes the light within you. Namaste.